Welcome back, everyone, to OpenLine. We are talking with Representative Yusuf Hakeem, Democrat from Chattanooga, and he has just passed the Black History Act. It passed in the legislature.
Yes, sir.
In this environment, it passed last week, requiring that Black history be taught in grades 5 through 8. And we've kind of gone over the details. Let's go to the phones here. Let's go to Anthony. Hello, Anthony.
Hello. Yes, good evening. How are you?
Fine. Go right ahead.
Yeah, thank you for trying to resolve the issue concerning the issue that you're talking about. When I was in school, they didn't talk much about Black history. We only learned about we were set free. So the other race of other diversity of people didn't get to learn about the history of what we accomplished in America and what we did for America, not only the inventions. So people have that idea that we didn't do anything. So we was already talked about, already degraded. So to have Black history in the school and have other children and peers to understand we accomplished something too is very important. I also like to see, I don't know if it'll happen, if the churches take their responsibility and speak about it and teach more love and understanding. And then I was told from understanding from Martin Luther King that education is a very important part of understanding how to break the barriers down, and religion is a part of it too. But anyway, I thank y'all so much for bringing it up. I hope we really resolve it, and peace all over the world is very important for everybody, because we all going to lose if we don't work this out.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
Sir.
All right, Anthony, thank you. What do you think about what he said? He said he was taught in school over and over, we were set free. Black people were set free. And he says there's more to it than that.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, first I want to thank Anthony for the call. And what it brought back to my mind, I remember in the 4th grade, I looked at a book and I said, oh, social studies book. Let's see what it says about people who look like me. And I opened that book up and it had just those 2 pages and it talked about slavery, you know, and nothing else. And so I don't think I opened that book anymore, you know, to that page, because I didn't see anything about me. I didn't see anything that inspired me to make me want to be better than what I am. The gentleman also talked about examples, and we're talking about people like Madam C.J. Walker, who's very good with hair care products and things of this nature, who became the first African-American millionaire, black woman millionaire in the United States. And we have Judge McDonald, who is still on the bench right now in West Tennessee. I mean, she has gone through the system, and she serves the Western District, you know, in the court over there. So there are positive role models. And my view, my perspective is that if young people see and understand there are people who look like them, who've done positive things, that inspires them to be better. I've worked with, through the parole board, a number of young people who have no history, no idea, no understanding of anything other than street life. If that's all you know, that's all you're going to do. But we have to instill in them that there are people who look like you, who've done positive things for this nation, who served in every war that this nation has been involved in. So we need to, this is an opportunity for us to put some of those images forward, not just for African-American students, but students in general. And I think what it does is it brings about a better appreciation, understanding. It shows value and worth of all people, and that's what we're trying to do.
That's fascinating what you said about when you were in the 4th grade.
Yes, sir.
Did you share that story in any of these hearings? You said you had to go subcommittee to subcommittee to subcommittee. And I think people would be, there was probably some skepticism, like what's going on here?
Yeah.
But did you share that story?
I did not share that story. I didn't know how it would play with the audience that I had. But, you know, as I said, what I've tried to do in my 4 years here in the legislature is to my colleagues to feel that if I say I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to try to outthink you or misappropriate, what we're trying to do. And I feel that's the way we got it out of subcommittee, because there were people who knew me enough that I wouldn't be playing games with them or trying to trick them, anything of that nature. And they were able to move it forward from there. Because when I first went in that subcommittee, I guess like everybody else, a subcommittee and it's over with. But when I saw the reaction of some of my colleagues in that committee, oh, there's a possibility. And so instead of saying, not putting the bill forward and saying, no, it can't be done, we have to try. And once we try and put the effort out there, I think God steps in and makes the opportunity available.
And part of maybe what's a little unusual in our current legislative environment is you actually wanted to pass something.
Yes, sir.
You weren't trying to, and believe me, every side's responsible here, and maybe you've never, but I feel like I've read times where they're just trying to get someone on the record to have a bad vote.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that you actually wanted to get this passed, and it sounds like you were able to convince enough people there in the legislature, enough lawmakers, that this was a valuable thing.
Yes, sir. Yes,
and when I hear you talk about, when you were in the 4th grade, that's very powerful, and it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And you think now, after this passes, there'll be kids that see people like them, and it will make them more interested in learning and going to school.
I agree.
And aspiring to bigger things.
Yes, sir. I agree.
So that's great. All right, let's go to Tony. Hello, Tony.
Yeah, I'm looking at both the suits. This is a little more older, well-worn. It said dry clean. Yours on the right, they're both purple, though. Yours is, is this a bit well-worn? He's got
Hey, Tony, now do you have a question, Tony?
Oh, yeah. I want to say, fifth, George O'Keeffe paintings. Sold for $38 million. Should we keep them around? Should we sell them? Should we keep them around? Oh, look at him smiling. Yeah, well, it's a great collection. So what do we do? Loan them to Smithsonian? Keep them here? I mean,
Okay, well, Tony, a little off topic.
Okay.
I don't know what Tony's talking about, but okay, Tony. All right, as far as, I guess, how, again, the other part of the question, that Anthony asked was about churches and their responsibility. What about the responsibility or the role, I guess, that churches can play?
Well, I guess I'd like to use my home church, Second Missionary Baptist Church in Chattanooga, under the leadership of Dr. Ernest L. Reed Jr. We have, I guess you could say, a collage of positive images, going back to Africa, kings and queens, and tennis players, Arthur Ashe, and others that young people see all the time. And we're getting ready to start a pre-K program that may have images like that young people can see. So I guess trying to use my church as an example, there's an opportunity for us to teach this in church also, but that should not be the primary location. School, where the learning takes place, where the interaction between children takes place. They have to learn how, this world is such a place that we have to learn from each other, we have to interact, we have to learn how to do business and things of that nature, and play golf.
So it's more, that's funny.
Yeah.
But did you hear from churches? You're using your church as an example.
Yes, sir.
Is it a big church?
Yes, sir. We have a congregation of about 500.
Okay. And what did they think when you talked about this bill?
They were elated. They thought it was something that was well needed, and not just my church, but other churches and people from the community. I received emails and calls thanking me for staying with it, putting forth the effort, and so that helped me to feel like it was meaningful to people that something like this took place. But when they were giving me accolades and so forth, I'm saying to myself, all praise is due to God. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, we will take a break. We'll come back, continue our discussion, and talk about some other things that are going on in the legislature. Take a break. Be back right after this.